What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. Last time, we found the White Seed ship, and we found out from the ship's captain that Elan, who we're now looking for, went with a boarding party of Esthar soldiers. So that is our next destination, the silent country of Esthar, nestled in the mountains. Buffered away from the rest of the world, silent for 17 years. Quistis just reminded us of something that we learned earlier in the game. When we crashed into Fisherman's Horizon, the people there, I think it was specifically the dude operating the elevator, made a point to point out that Fisherman's Horizon is kind of used as an in-between point for people traveling to Esthar. People use the railroad that connects to Fisherman's Horizon to get to Esthar when they travel there. And it's that big railroad that kind of bisects the world map and makes it a pain in the ass flying around in the sea, in the Balam Garden ship. To cross from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere of the world map, you kind of have to go all the way around the continents to get around that big railroad. So we're going to visit Rinoa in the hospital, and we're going to get a really, really sweet scene. So we're going off to Esthar to find Elan, in the hopes that she can undo whatever happened to Rinoa to put her into this coma. Squall seems to want to go back in time, or at least have his consciousness sent back, so he can prevent whatever happened to Rinoa from happening. But of course, we got that little line of dialogue last time from Elan, saying that she found out the hard way that you can't change the past. Regardless, Squall is gonna try. He's gonna do whatever it takes, and yeah, this scene here and that sentiment, really sweet, really tender stuff. There's no guarantee that she's gonna be able to solve everything, but yeah, exactly. Gotta try. You have changed, Squall. You've changed so much for the better. Disc 3 Squall is not bad. It's a shame that it takes, on a first playthrough of this game, it takes a long, long time to get here. But hey, he has actual character development. He has an actual character arc. Look at Squall being a real character. Man, I feel like I've changed a lot too. I started this playthrough shitting on him left and right. You couldn't go an episode without me calling Squall a mopey cunt. Oh, and that's a really revealing line of dialogue. That's always been easier for him. It simplifies things when people perceive him that way, as the outcast, as the introvert. Doesn't complicate things. I understand that bit. Yeah. I don't even feel like I have to preface this with, I don't like him anymore. He is alright by this point. I still think, carrying Rinoa to Esthar, trying to do it all on his own, going that far out of his way, I think that's really sweet. But then again, nobody's mad at him, nobody's laughing at him, everyone was waiting at the railroad station, proving to him that he doesn't have to do this by himself. Still think there are better Final Fantasy main protagonists, but I've got to admit, I like his arc. And Quistis and Zell here are escorting Adia to Esthar. Oh, another whatever is trademark, his catchphrase. He has two whatevers in this scene, and weirdly enough, these ones are actually accurately translated. Whatever is a fitting line of dialogue for the English localization here. As opposed to, all the other times he just goes, ... whatever. And it's a weird mistranslation. And the gang's all here. They were looking up ahead for Esthar, and they went all the way out into the horizon and could not find any sign of a city out there. And this railroad station, seems to be super abandoned. So, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Also, if you didn't catch it, Quistis and Zell are escorting Edea. Edea's business here is that she's looking for someone named Dr. Odine. Odine is a name that you've heard before, in fact. Odine's bangle was the item that Rinoa, back in the end of Disc 1, she was going to give to Edea when Edea was still being possessed by the sorceress when we were out on that assassination mission. She was going to give Edea something called the sorceress's, Dr. Odine's bangle. And the idea was it was going to be used to suppress her power. Dr. Odine is some sort of genius scientist specializing in the study of sorceresses? Or magic, I guess, would be a more appropriate field of study for him. We get some flickering going on in the background, and really nice looking salt flats. Sorry, I had a coughing fit. Out of the blue. So we have salt flats and snowy fields and giant skeletal dinosaurs. Oh, hold on. Okay. I'm back. I'm alive for now. I don't know what the hell that was all about. I just had a really violent coughing fit out of nowhere. What was I even talking about before that happened? Something about, you could see the Great Salt Lake in the distance and the snowy fields of Esthar, and there was a little bit of, screen flickering in the horizon, which is, it's not a graphical glitch, it's intentional. It's actually a really cool little bit of foreshadowing that you can see. It's almost like TV static. Like there's a little glitch in the horizon. But, oh, right, and these too. The enormous skeletons of monsters long since deceased, just littering the ground on the path of Esthar. And we'll use this spinal column as a bridge, as I'm sure everybody making the pilgrimage from wherever to Esthar did. Who in the hell would come to Esthar? Like, it's desolate out here. Do the train tracks just stop? Like, do they just stop in the middle of nowhere in this barren wasteland? And expect everyone to just make the rest of the trek on foot? Through this valley of goddamn monsters and things popping out of canyons at you? Like, fuck this place. Fuck Esthar. Let them stay isolated. This guy is known as Abaddon. He is pretty cool looking. I like his visual design. I think it's the dragonfly wings that make it, and the tongue. The tongue looks really cool, except it's a pain in the ass to deal with, because when he uses that lick attack, he actually curses you. So I'm going to show off a couple of Guardian Forces that I haven't shown before, that I got pretty recently. The first one is going to be Alexander, who is an amazing looking intro cutscene, or attack cutscene. One and the same. Alexander does a whole bunch of holy damage. Abaddon here happens to be an undead creature. So he's taking increased damage from holy and fire. Yeah, he takes a whole lot from Alexander. The other quirk of undead creatures, if you remember from the Garo Garo fight back in Disc 1, the imposter President Delling on the train, they take a whole lot of damage from healing magic, cure, cura, curaga, potions, and Phoenix Downs will occasionally instantly kill them. Cerberus, who also has a really amazing animation when you summon him, doesn't do anything that I think is that valuable. He casts double and triple on you. Since double and triple would be amazing status effects, Oh, and he casts Blind on Squall, who can never ever miss no matter what, even when blinded. Double and triple would be way more beneficial, if not for the fact that casting magic isn't the greatest in FF8. And yeah, you can see when he stands up on his hind legs like that. He looks really cool when he does that. He starts casting Confuse on you, which is a pain in the ass. His spirit and his vitality also go up even higher when he's standing up. Which means that it's even harder to damage him, on top of the fact that he takes half physical damage, and the fact that I screwed my junctions up, so I'm draw casting Cura at him. Luckily, this undead monster happens to stock a whole bunch of Cure magic, which doesn't make a lick of sense. Get it? A lick of sense? Oh, that pun wasn't even intended at first. So good. Abaddon is the most random-ass boss fight. There is no setup to this boss being here. He just jumps out of the canyon at you. I guess maybe Esthar put him there to guard the city so that nobody would stumble upon Esthar, but that doesn't make sense because there's a train that goes from Fisherman's Horizon to Esthar. So I don't know what the deal with Abaddon is. Either way, I kind of like him. He looks so creepy and imposing standing up like that. And you can kind of see... the Renzo's not doing shit to him. You can kind of see he has two heads. His chest there is a separate skull with the tusks. And you can't really see it when he's crouched down, squatting. He has another head, the tiny one, with the red horns. This is a really cool boss, like a total one-off, random, out-of-nowhere boss. I'm hoping this Cura kills him before Alexander comes out again, because I don't feel like going through that animation. Nope! He's gonna blind someone else, not that matters. Oh, yeah, blind Zell for no reason. Zell, all he's doing is draw casting Cura at you. 666. Oh, if that would have killed him, it did! An undead monster getting killed with a 666 hit? Yeah. The other thing that's so random about this fight is... what other bosses have such amazing death animations? He petrifies and crumbles, and the petrified pieces of him scatter in the wind piece by piece. What other bosses have animations like that? And it's such a throwaway, one-off, random, out-of-the-blue fight. I don't know, Abaddon's kinda cool. I like his gimmick, too. Like, I always like the undead enemies in this, is they offer you something different. Granted, I mean, it's kind of a one-trick gimmick, in that once you've seen it, it's like, yeah, that's cool, but it's really easy to deal with, because you just cast healing magic, or throw mega elixirs, or phoenix downs, or whatever at him. But still, like, that's a neat way to vary things up. That's it for Abaddon, though. I don't know what he was doing there, but that's Abaddon. So we can continue on our journey into Esthar. We're getting pretty close. And... let's see. Ooh, actually, that fight taught me... yes, here we go. I got enough AP for Alexander to finally learn that ability to level medicine up. So I now have my 6 remedy pluses, and I am only 2 steps away from summoning Doom Train. I need an item that we get right here in Esthar, and I get an item that I can grind right outside of Esthar. And we're climbing an invisible ladder into a portal that opened in the sky. Radical. So it looks like the Estharians, I don't know what to call them, being as technologically hyper-advanced as they are, developed some sort of cloaking field, some way to optically camouflage their entire city, which is pretty cool. I like this whole section of Disc 3, like, everything from the journey to Esthar, once you get to Esthar, what happens in Esthar, everything from here on out is awesome. Like, this is... If you think of the game as being divided up into the continents you visit, this is my favorite part. Yeah, it's super, super good. Everything that's coming up is pretty cool. I like the city of Esthar. I like where you go after Esthar, and if you've played before, you know what I'm talking about. And we have a very long, awkward elevator ride, which... Oh man, this is like the one time that I've actually had something to talk about during an elevator ride, so I didn't have to play the Mass Effect elevator theme, which I love. I love it. I have go-tos for ladders and elevators. Every time it's a long ladder, it's Snake Eater. Every time it's a long elevator, Mass Effect elevator theme. This reveal is awesome. Yeah! I don't know how many more times I can say this. I've got to sound like a broken record by now. The transitions from gameplay to these cutscenes, so smooth, so good. Like, modern games don't do those transitions this well. Usually it's a cut to black or a cut to a CG sequence that looks way better than the game. Nope. Smooth as can be. Oh, that's really good. Oh, not this shit again. High-pitched whining, everyone falling to their knees and passing out. We've seen this before, and it's time to ruin everyone's junctions anyway. Because the junctions aren't... It's not like they're gonna transfer over properly. This Laguna dream sequence is special. It's special because this is the last one. We've had flashbacks to Laguna ever since Disc 1, ever since the Timber mission. But after this one, no more. This is it. And judging by the soldiers, we're actually in Esthar, and Laguna seems to be captive here. So the deal here is that Alana has been kidnapped, brought here to Esthar, and Laguna's here trying to rescue her. And don't forget, this is back 17 years ago, when Sorceress Adele, who we've now heard a little bit about, an antagonist in her own right, this is back when Adele was leading Esthar. And we have more Moombas, who are the whipping boys of this game. Every time the Moombas show up, somebody's abusing them. So, I found something neat out about the movie that Laguna was filming in the last dream sequence we had with him not too long ago, a few episodes back. The movie he was filming, I never knew this before, it's called Zephyr, and this comes from the FFA Ultimania book. Laguna plays a knight who was protecting a sorceress in that. Remember the scene with the Ruby Dragon was called Death of a Sorceress? And he used a gunblade 17 years before the game's present day. And that movie is what inspired Cypher's dream of being the sorceress's knight. And even how he poses with his own gunblade. And there's even an homage paid to that, to the movie in FF13 too. Apparently there's a quiz or something in the game, and it mentions that there's a movie called The Sorceress's Knight, and it made the gunblade a popular kid's toy. I like to believe that that's only an homage, and the Mooma's fine. Even though they abuse them, they have safety harnesses for the little guys. Yeah, I like to believe that that's only an homage. I hope so, anyway. And not, like, any kind of evidence that the two universes are connected. It's terrible to think that FF13 and 8 might be related. I'm a much bigger fan of the theory that FF8 and FF3 take place in the same universe, even though the evidence there isn't quite concrete. On the other hand, you know what two Final Fantasy universes are confirmed to actually be the same? FF10s and FF7s. FF10 canonically takes place in the same universe as FF7. And they have some very, very direct references to one another. Some very direct tie-ins. But now oh, right. Laguna's blind. That status effect seemed to have carried over. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have cured Squall. I didn't expect that. I was thinking everything would be all cool because Squall can never miss, so it didn't matter that Abaddon blinded him. Ooh, I didn't think that carried over. So, it's time for Laguna to make his move, to break out of here, and to protect his new friend, the Moomba. So, we're just gonna threaten all the guards in Esthar. And we're gonna let our new friends... I didn't catch the one guy's name. I don't know if they named him. And the Moomba. We're gonna let him escape. And hey, it's Warden Kyros. Who is the fourth one? Ah! Laguna's aware of what Alon's doing. And plus, he knows that she's there, so yeah, why don't I check my junctions? Every single time with this, every single time, it transitions to the dream sequences. So again, do I want to just make sure that I can get some HP and some strength and leave the rest alone since it's gonna get messed up again anyway? No, I might as well actually go through this properly. Let's see, magic. Yep, same thing as normal. Oh wait, I forgot about my tornadoes for a second. So triples. Yeah, we'll slow the pace down just for a second. And again, in another dream sequence, fix my junctions because... I don't know, there's something really buggy about that transition from Zell and Squall and Irvine to Ward, Kyros, and Laguna. I never understood why the junctions for Ward and Kyros get messed up. Like, they just reset and they become clean slates. But the Laguna Squall transition's always perfect. Don't understand that. So yeah, we'll give Quetzalcoatl, Shiva and Diablo, and Alexander to Ward, and that should go back to Irvine or Zell when we switch back to present day again, and we'll be all good to go. Curaga, Tornado, the rest are kind of irrelevant for... They're going to be irrelevant for almost the entire game. I could go without junctioning anything to Vitality, Magic, Spirit, any of that, for the entire game, and it wouldn't really endanger the playthrough at all. Better to be prepared, though. Better to have them and not need them, than to need them and not have them. So we'll give you Mug, Strength, Encounter None. Okay, we're all fixed. Glad the soldiers gave us time to prepare to fight them. So if I'm not mistaken, there are like 2 waves, and each one comes with a few soldiers and a different monster. And what is that blue guy called? Oh, for a second, I thought Odin showed up. Gespers, I think? They are annoying, because they do that. They just made him disappear. He out of the blue, into nowhere. So he's a pain in the ass. Laguna is still blind, so we just have Ward chucking harpoons all over the place. That's really what we're relying on here. Boy, did I mention something about not needing any of the other junctions? Yeah, about that. Oosh. Oh well, at least Ward's cleaning house. Hey, we might actually see a few of the Laguna squad's limit breaks. Oh no, nope. Desperado's not coming out now that he's berserk. Status effects out of the ass with the Gespers, but you steal black holes from him. I swear they look like Power Rangers monsters. Oh, he just casted float on me? That's okay, that's fine, I'll card him. Void a little bit of XP. Wow, what a pain in the ass that was. And I'm pretty sure since it made Kyros disappear, I'm pretty sure that sets his status to dead. So I'm gonna have to... he's walking around just fine, like he didn't just get blasted off into the infinite blackness of the abyss. I still have to expend a Phoenix down on him. Son of a bitch. And I should probably do something about the fact that Laguna is both berserk and blind. Shouldn't I? Do I have anything for that? No. I must have something for it. Remedy? Yes, that's what I want. I was looking for... God, eye drops, but Remedy works too. Yeah, just burn through these 100 potions, why the hell not? Okay, yeah. Lots of menu action in this episode. Really heavy on the menus. But we're getting somewhere. Dr. Odine looks super weird. I feel like I've seen that exact design somewhere before, but I can't figure out from what. It's a weird design, especially when, yeah. He's wearing the umbrella logo around his neck. This big poofy collar. Oh, that is strange looking. He has the samurai haircut going on, too. Like, everything about fashion design in Esthar makes no sense to me. You have the Esthar soldiers and their weird purple and light blue spandex bullshit with their pickaxe shotguns. Oh, right. Yeah. So he's working on a super weapon, he has lots of evil-sounding projects going on, and he lost someone's copy of Weapons Monthly. And they're totally oblivious. But here comes one of his assistants, the one who seemed a little hesitant as to the good doctor's experiments. I love the mad scientist, the mad bumbling scientist trope. They just pull out. Okay, so he's part of the Adele resistance group. And remember, they're grooming Laguna, who they just met, to lead them. Just met him. Lunatic Pandora. That is... Oh, that's an awesome name. We don't know what it is yet, but it's an awesome name, and it's really ominous sounding. Where is Alon? Where is she? Dr. Odine would probably know her whereabouts, so let's go back and interrogate him. Okay, so they'll provide some intel. Trying to figure out if we... Hey, the anti-Azel movement. It's Adele. Start listening more closely. It's getting embarrassing. Oh, that's good. I feel like the game can't decide whether they want Laguna to be a lovable idiot, or for him to actually be competent, because he swerves really violently between the two. It seems like every other dream sequence he's an idiot, and then, yeah. The even-numbered ones, he's an idiot. The odd-numbered ones, he's perfectly fine and capable and competent. So before we go any further, I am going to save real quick, and we'll head back inside and question Dr. Odine as to the whereabouts of Laguna's niece, Alon. Hey, there's that Weapons Monthly that Odine was saying he lost. So we only have one other path here, so he must be downstairs here. I don't know what we were supposed to have been working on this platform. Come to think of it, but I don't know what Odine's doing down here either. He's just standing around looking at the wall. What do they come with this time? A forbidden? I can't remember. No, that's the Elastoid enemy, or whatever the name is. When you card mod that thing, it cards into steel pipes, which is what I was grinding, mugging the Yetis for last episode. There we go. That's more like it. 7,000. Couldn't steal anything. Hopefully that did enough damage to card him. I think I'm gonna skip Laguna and Kiros. Maybe not Kiros's. Yeah. Kiros doesn't do that much damage anyway. I hit attack by accident. I keep doing that. Oh well. It's not gonna be that much XP. Magic stones. Grant my wish. And they give him a comical German dialect to speak in? That's no. Dr. Odine's weird. Everything about this is really, really weird. Oh, this is probably my least favorite Laguna dream sequence. It's not terrific, to be honest. Oh yeah, just run into that car. Okay, so he's in lab, Odine's lab. So that's where Alon is. I love that line. I see. I didn't understand a word. That's such a Luffy thing to say. Fucking Laguna goofball. Oh, I appreciate that they just fast travel you over to Dr. Odine's lab. Yep, face the camera to monologue at it. Not a whole lot goes on in this dream sequence. I'm trying to figure out what my favorite one might be. The first one is pretty good. I like the third one too. I think the first one might be my favorite dream sequence. Or no, I'm sorry. The first one I like a lot, and the one in Windhill I like a lot. Which, yeah, that's the third one, right? It's... Yeah, okay. So the Esthar soldiers continue to not pose a threat. So all we have to do now is explore Dr. Odine's lab, now uninhibited. This door is locked at the moment, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna sit on this, what looked like a bench, or something, or seat. It's actually an elevator, which only brings you up when you sit on it. They were not kidding when they said Esthar is a hyper-advanced civilization as far as technology goes. Nobody else in the entire world of FF8 has any tech like this. And this is 17 years before present day, so yeah. How they did not just conquer the world, especially under the tyrannical reign of Adele, is a mystery. I only stole Phoenix Downs from him? That's bullshit. Can't even get some good loot. Alrighty. I think that's the last encounter that we're gonna have as Laguna's team. We're rapidly closing in on the point where we no longer will be playing as Laguna and Ward and Kiros. this is our send-off to that team. Also, I screwed that up. I just realized. I didn't realize you could screw that up. There are 2 parts of that console. So on the left side, if you mess around with it, you just get an error. So you go to the main part of the console. That unlocks the door on the first floor. Not much of a puzzle. Just a little bit of busy work, a little bit of running around. And now their friend who we were working down in the Estharian gulag, he's just waiting there to greet us, and we are reunited with dear, dear Alon. Much like Squall and company will soon do back in present day. For now, though, thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.